Hello and welcome. I am so glad you're here. I'm Beth, a creator-based coach with CMH Coaching for Life. I'm here today to help you and those you love create a life you feel grounded and at home in. Think of a life where you feel peace, love for those around you, and in a flow with just enough challenge to keep you happy and creating something wonderful. Sounds like magic, but it's not. You can create that life every single day. You can have a life full of love, excitement, hope, and creation. Our mission at CMH Coaching is to flood the earth with light through compassion, mindfulness, and hope. And I'm going to ask a favor of you. If you like what you see and hear today, think of someone you know that would enjoy and benefit from this message. Our mission is to flood the world with compassion, mindfulness, and hope. Share this with them. But for now, this is time just for you. So settle into whatever you're doing and enjoy this time with the girls, where we create that one awesome, amazing, perfect life every one of us is seeking.
You gotta watch your thinking. Watch your thinking. Watch your thinking.
It just takes a second.
Got it.
There. We are now streaming on Facebook, and I'm sorry I missed your really woo-woo background. I wanted to see it.
It was Halloween. I had a Halloween.
Oh,
background.
perfect. Well, then we're ready for next Monday, because it's going to be, come in costume. It's going to be, is your life ready for next Monday? Yeah, next Monday.
Yeah.
Is your life a scary movie? That's what we're talking about next Monday. Next Monday. Is your life a scary movie? That's what we're talking about.
You got the echo going. Yep.
I think I got it fixed.
Okay.
Yeah. So is your life a scary movie for next Monday? So yes, and we will come. I've got my scary background too. I'll have to go make sure I got my costume already though. For real this weekend though, I am going as Loki and Thor's mother for Halloween. Just saying, for our Halloween trunk or treat this weekend.
We'll need pictures.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Like the flowers, and the robe and yes. I will stand as regally as I possibly can. How'd you guys do with working with your second guesser last week? Did you have any good experiences where she popped her head up and made you wonder or distracted you? Your second guesser?
I love, I kept going back to what Jen was saying last week about, that she has a purpose and there's a reason for her to be there and to just get curious. And so I just was able.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
So you kept going that she was supposed to be there?
Yeah, so with the second guesser, I was really excited because I realized that she's a part of me, right? And to just get curious and ask her questions. And just this morning, and it's funny because once you solve it, I can't even remember what the situation was, but I was walking out to the barn to take care of the horses this morning, and it was something that she popped up, and I'm like, well, that's really interesting. Tell me more about that. Why are you questioning this? What are you afraid? Are you from past experiences? What's going on? And it was just this conversation, and it was more like, well, she actually was feeling left out because I haven't been acknowledging her, as a second guesser. And so she was just like, no, I just wanted you to know I was here, but I really do feel like it's a good idea. Well, cool. Thanks. I think it's a great idea. So we'll go with it. Yeah. So
Nice.
Weird, but fun. I don't know.
No, really cool. I had an opportunity this weekend. Maybe she wasn't my second guesser. I think she might fit better with what we're talking about today, the doubter and the worrier. But I had an opportunity to visit with one of our church leaders. And he, of course, texted me 3 or 4 days before Sunday and said, hey, do you have a few minutes before church? We can talk. And my heart immediately just went, oh my gosh, now what? What did I do? Oh my gosh. And just kind of went into overload. And as I listened to that and worked with that part of me and questioned, kind of like you, just what's up with that? Are you afraid of something? What's going on? What happened was my centered self eventually said, well, what if we just do this? What if we just say, I'm willing to be pleasantly surprised? And so, and that helped. We were, because none of us, no part knew what was going to come, and what was going to happen. But what if we just said, I'm willing to be pleasantly surprised? And everybody I just felt at peace with that. And so anytime somebody came up, one of the inner critics would come up and worried or doubted or whatever was going on, say, you remember, we're just going to say, I'm willing to be pleasantly surprised. We can't fortune tell that. Let's just be willing to be pleasantly surprised. And it worked really well. And I was very pleasantly surprised, which pleased everyone. Yeah. So that was a neat way to work with it. What about you, Jen? How'd it go with yours?
I really didn't have any second guessers come up this week because I don't think there was any type of challenge put before me. So, it wasn't like I had to make a decision or anything or had to figure anything out, which is a good week for me. So I just...
Hey,
that's awesome.
Celebrate that with you. Yes.
Yeah, but I had other parts show up. So
that's okay. What about today? We're going to talk about two of my favorites, Walter the Worrier.
Oh, yeah.
And Donna Doubter.
Yeah.
Now, Walter and Donna are an old married couple that live inside of me. That sounds really weird, but there you go. Walter seldom shaves. He's generally grizzled. He's not very tall. He's very round. You can see him with a cigar hanging out of his mouth, and he likes to growl. He very seldom gets out of his easy chair, which, by the way, was made in 1940 and smells like it. Then Donna stays home all day with him and cooks horrible things in the kitchen and is just miserable. But in my head, Donna the Doubter and Walter the Worrier, they don't ever really come openly out to worry. They just wonder. And so when I went to go to the store this morning, it's stormy here today. Walter starts with, I wonder if it's going to storm while you're out. I wonder if the roads will be slick. I wonder if there will be an accident. Not ever just in my face, just these little wonders, and it builds like that for me. But yeah, the Doubter and the Worrier. What's that look like for you guys? What's your Worrier look like? Are they a what if kind of person?
Mine are, she's pretty, there's a catastrophe happening. That's what it is. She goes all out. It's not these little things like, what if this happens? It's like, no, the world's going to end. Why try this? She's very drama.
No subtlety for your worry.
No subtlety. And it shuts me down on certain things. So I just really have to go in there and say, why are you so scared? What is this fear? And a lot of it is just she's tired and exhausted. She doesn't want to put the effort in because it's not going to work out for you. So she can be very, very defeatist and just, it's really, that's my bigger thing than the, second guesser. So I have to manage that more than the second guessing.
Your Worrier.
My Worrier and my Doubter. They kind of are the same. They're
very similar. That's why I look at mine as an old married couple, because they're just kind of one in purpose. They want me to be protected. They don't want anything to happen bad in my life. And so they're always going to protect me in the way of doubt and worry.
But don't even step out into the arena so that you can get knocked down. Just stay back, And so this is keeping you little and small. So you're not a target. So I'm all like, oh.
Yeah, much better, much safer to sit in your chair and watch TV. Right?
Yeah.
Let's just stay there.
And watch the world, watch life go by. Don't participate in it. And I'm like, Yeah.
What's it look like for you, Jacine? Do you have a Worrier or a Doubter in there?
That I can't imagine somebody not having those. How wonderful would that be? But it's interesting. I was just trying to just put my finger on one or the other, and it's hard to identify for me personally, to identify, a worry. Maybe mine is more doubt than worry.
Mhm.
So I think they, Mrs. Doubtfire. Let's go. So yeah, hers is always, I doubt that this is going to work out well for you. And most of it is really related to how it's going to affect me personally. Like if you go out and you get in the arena, are you going to end up face down in the arena? And that's really not okay or cool if you end up face down in that arena, because look at all those people that are going to laugh at you. Look at all those people that are going to not have respect for you anymore. That's my biggie, the respect. I don't care if people laugh at me, but don't disrespect me. Yeah.
Okay. So your what ifs then, one of your big what ifs were, what if they disrespect you?
Yes. There we go.
Yeah. Yeah. My Worrier has a lot of what ifs, what if it storms? What if the barbecue propane tank blows up while you're making the steaks? I mean, it's just crazy, the what ifs that come up, What if your car tire blows out? What if, there's just my Worrier, he's full of what ifs. That's why I look at him as Walter, because I can just hear him grumbling and growling and looking out, well, what if this happens? And what if that happens? Do you have what ifs, Jen?
I do. My what ifs, for some reason, I don't have too much of those, like the propane blowing up, the what ifs. Mine is what if they. There's always they. What if they this? What if they that? And I learned from somebody, I can't even remember where I read it or I was told a long time ago, that I actually take those they and give them names. Like, who are they? Give them names. List, like, are they, are they real people? And most of the time, they're not real people.
Right.
So it takes like that energy out of it. Like, well, who are they? And you start listing them. And if you can't give them a name and then start identifying if that is going to actually really come from them, then half of it is somewhat solved.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I love that idea of give them a name. Who is it? And you could kindly talk with that part that same way and just let them explore.
Yeah. Or a lot of times they are outside of you, people that you think are out in the world that could possibly like make fun of you or disrespect you, or start naming them. Well, who are they? And after a while you're just like, well, they really don't have names. It's just this fear of the unknown that I have out there.
Yeah. It's just a nebulous worry.
Yeah. And so if you can't name them, then it kind of like deflates the fear a little bit. And then you can kind of say, well, this is all my own creation. So how do I work with that? And things like that. But it kind of makes that big monster scary they smaller and more manageable.
Yeah. It gets like a balloon that just deflates, right? No more Macy's Day Parade balloon. Now we've just got this shriveled thing in our hand. We're like, oh, that's nothing. Yeah.
I really like that. But when you were saying that, Jen, I was able to identify the they.
Okay.
So with me, as I was identifying the they, it was the mean girls that beat me up in elementary school, and not just physically, but mentally, because I was overweight and didn't look like everybody else and the new kid and blah, 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 right? On and on. Yeah. And then I thought, that's so interesting. Why am I giving them power over me? I mean, that was, holy smokes, how many years? That was 50 years ago, guys. Yeah. Really? No, they don't deserve that power anymore. Yeah.
Then what I would do is then, since I've identified that, I would then go and ask that little girl, that hurt girl, to come and sit with your higher self, with you, and discuss it. And empower her, or let her understand that you're the one in control now, and you're not going to let that happen to her anymore. And kind of like help her to separate and like let go of the theys that did it to her.
Yeah.
Reminder, you've never been this old or this smart before, Right.
Yeah.
You've got this.
You
Yeah.
got yep.
You got this. What about the Worrier that we were kind of raised, all of us were kind of raised to believe that if we were well educated in all of the risks, we would be safe. If you're watching the news regularly so that you know what's happening in the world, you can be safe. That kind of a belief. So what do we do with that? Because I know for me anyway, watching the news regularly does not help me feel safe.
No.
Yeah. But what do we do with the part of us who says, well, if you know all of the risks, then you'll be able to deal with anything that could go wrong, and then you'll be safe. Any ideas on that? Yeah. What do we do with, because we need to have all of our questions answered, or else we can't be safe.
Yeah, that safety thing is a huge, big deal, isn't it?
It is. It's really big societally to be, in touch with the news and know what's going to happen so you can be prepared and safe. And there is an element of truth in that, right? But when we take it just a little bit past that element of truth, things can get out of hand for our inner parts and all of our inner family.
I like to just take it back to my creator, and the creator of this world, and give it to him, because I can't possibly, it's too big. My shoulders aren't strong enough to carry all that. Yeah, like my massage therapist will tell you, I've already got enough on my shoulders, right? Yeah. But being able to take and give it back to him and just say, hey, this is too big. I'm going to trust you to help me know and discern what I need to be concerned about. And I'm not going to call it worry, right? I'm going to call, what are the concerns?
What do I need to be aware of?
Yeah, what things do I need to be prepared for and be aware of? And then what can I just let go and let you take it from me and for me? Yeah.
And I see that. I'm sorry, Jen, go ahead.
Because there might be something that we do need to take care of that our Worrier is bringing to our attention.
That's valid.
And if something is within our power to do. And then a lot of times it'll quiet down a little bit. But also I get caught in that circle sometimes. I just get so worried, upset and concerned. And I do have to do what JC says and give it to my creator and help me put it into perspective of really what is my responsibility in this, and what I just have to walk in faith.
And which part is mine, right? Yeah. Which part is yours and which part is mine. Yeah. And that I find is really, really effective when we're working with worry, is that awareness, to be able to touch base with our creator or with our centered self and to understand what awareness. So let's talk about awareness then as an antidote for the worry and the doubt. What do you guys see awareness as being? To begin with, I see awareness for me as being able to recognize the thought in my mind that's not making me feel good. If I've been practicing paying attention to what's happening in there, and if I've been able to stay a little more centered, then when a worry thought or a doubt thought or a second guesser thought comes across, I'm aware of that. Kind of like you were saying when you went down to the barn this morning, you were aware of that thought, right?
Yeah. You recognize it.
Yeah. And so is there anything that you do particularly to help you stay aware?
I keep going back to COVID. So 2020, right? Okay. Here we are. I'm in Central Oregon. It's not like we have high produce. We produce a lot of hay, which is wonderful, but it's hard to gnaw on, right? Yeah, it's not so fun. So my horses love it, my cows, but not so much me. So I just keep going back to that and being aware. So the problem is our grocery stores were depleted. There's a world or a nationwide toilet paper shortage for whatever reason.
It was crazy.
But all of these shortages, right? So that was real. That was something that we were living with. And instead of I had to have an awareness, right? So as we prepared, my husband and I talked about it. How can we prepare if something like this were to happen again? And it was just making a plan to take just short steps towards being prepared and having enough toilet paper should this ever happen again, or or enough food. I mean, we were good with our food, but by the end of, gosh, we had a good probably 3 months where the shelves were just like, you would go just for milk and it wasn't there.
Yeah,
And
I remember going to the store and there was no Rotel. And in Texas, when there is not Rotel, we are in a state of emergency. I was like, how can there be no Rotel? And fortunately for me, there was a girl stocking the shelves, and she heard me just bemoan there was no Rotel, and she's like, yeah, but we have green chilies. And I'm like, oh, I could make my own Rotel. Okay, thank you. I said, you're so smart. But it was disconcerting. It's kind of scary to have shortages, especially Rotel, y'all.
yeah. So again, we can be prepared. We can face things and be aware that these things are happening, but then how do we bring it back so that we can feel safe and we can feel empowered and we can know that it's going to be okay. Yeah.
One of my favorite ways to do that on the regular is to practice a daily accounting of what went well today. Because when I come to the end of the day and I'm tired, I'm really not generally looking at what went well. And so if I make it concerted, just the thought, just that shift the thought, because obviously the thought of what didn't go well is not making me feel good. So what thought can I have that will make me feel good? Well, what went well today? And I mean, it just takes 30 seconds and it's, oh yeah, that was good. Yeah. And that trains my mind for that new awareness and to focus on what's going well and then learn from that. Like you learn to prepare. Yeah. Jen, do you have anything else that you want to talk about for awareness? Anything else that's for you?
Well, for me and my awareness for that is, I really sometimes have to I always get curious about when something comes up. I really have to ask myself, is this something I really need to be concerned about? Or is this just some echo from the past? Or is this like my scarcity and lack coming up, beliefs coming up? And if so, is there something I can do to be, help that not be in my face so much? And so I don't know, it's a fine tuning of that awareness of what I need to do with that.
Well, and I had completely forgotten about curiosity. Curiosity is a really powerful tool.
Yeah. Is this really something I need to be concerned about? Or is my brain just taken off with it and running?
Yeah. Just that moment of wonder. I wonder, is this really something? Yeah. I love that. Yeah. So Juan Walter lights his cigar and settles in his easy chair in your living room and worries. And when Donna is making something truly just horrible, she's such a terrible cook, horrible in the kitchen. And the two of them are worrying and wondering, maybe that awareness. Maybe
and they have a stinky house. Think about that. It is stinky.
It is so stinky and it's stale and it's all cooped up and they're afraid to leave, and so they need some light. So let's just take just 1 second. Let's talk about what brings light for Walter and Donna's sake. I mean, open the window, right? Let out some of the stink, get some fresh air, open the curtains, get some light. What else brings light to you guys? We'll just do a couple minutes of brainstorming.
For me, it's just, okay, I hear you. I hear you. Like the validation. Okay, I get that you're trying to tell me something. I get you're upset, or I get that there's something going on. There's something activated. So just that just kind of, then I can go from there. That brings some light to me.
Yeah, Brene Brown's 3 that she uses that I just love. I see you. I hear you. You belong here. I just love when she says that. It just resonates. And you're like, yeah, but imagine saying that to Walter. I hear you. I see you. You belong here. He would be completely disarmed.
Yeah.
Do do what? Yeah. And then that curiosity and that awareness, like you're talking about. What about you, JC? What do you do for light?
Music. Music is,
Oh yeah.
yeah, just I have a playlist that is, it's my happy music. And sometimes it's with words, sometimes it's just the, just the beat and just something that's uplifting. It could be, sometimes I've got like angelic kind of sounding music where it just brings me to higher ground. Music that brings me to higher ground. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Music that brings me to higher ground. Yeah. Just take that step up with your music. Well, next week we are talking about what happens if Walter and Donna had a baby. Now, how's that for a picture in your mind, huh?
The apple, right? The apple doesn't fall
If
far.
Walter and Donna had a child, they would have Imogene, and we will talk about Imogene next week. But just so you know, we just need to talk for a minute about some really cool offerings that are coming up. We have the What's Your Word workshop coming out on November the 5th, right? Jen, you want to just tell everybody a little bit about What's Your Word workshop?
What's Your Word workshop is for the past few years I've been doing, and I know Beth has done it. I don't know if you have, JC, but you pick a word. You haven't? You pick a word along with inspiration, along with your prayer and with the Lord, and God will help you find the word that is going to be the next year. You're going to focus on that word and how it shows up in your life and how the Lord uses that word to help you reach your goals or improve certain things, and how he will speak to you and guide you through this constant awareness, keeping it there, of this word and how it shows up in your life. And it's just the most amazing way to look at self-improvement and your life change is through your one word. And so we're going to have a workshop to help you understand how to fine tune and find your word. And then we're going to do some visualizing in a vision book of how that one word looks for you right now and how it can grow and morph and change how it looks throughout the year.
And I love that it's a vision book because you can make 2 or 3 pages now, and then you can make more pages as the year goes on.
As your word comes alive.
It kind of becomes a journal of your year as well.
Yep.
Of your vision.
That's a really cool idea. I'm excited for that. Yeah.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be on a Saturday morning. It's the 5th of November, and it's 9 to 11 Central. So however that works for y'all. And I think the charge is $1. I mean, it's like right close to free. The only reason it's not free is because Square Up wouldn't let us do a free workshop. We had to charge something. So it's really easy. You can get the information on CMH Coaching on Facebook. The other thing that's coming up is Jacine is hosting a book club on our 50/50 Girl Club page. So Jacine, you want to talk a little bit about 50/50 Girl and about the book club?
Yeah. So 50/50 Girl, oh my gosh, it is a platform on Facebook where people can go, they can interact, they can share success. It's a community. It's a community. And in that community, there's a lot of information that is given and shared. There will be workshops that are only offered to the 50/50 Girl Club. So it's just a great place to come. The book club is offered to the 50/50 Girl Club. And what the book club is I've been running this book club, Tre Vega Book Club, since right before the pandemic. It was very inspired. And we read books that help us to grow and to find purpose in life and with life, and actually help to discern maybe some things that we've never thought about before. And it's a safe space where we can come and we can share our thoughts and our feelings with other like-minded people who are trying to improve. And we're all reading the same thing for that month, and we're discussing it. It's weekly, every week, and it is 1:30 Central Time. So whatever that looks like, and it's for 30 minutes, and it's a 30-minute discussion. The growth that we've seen in the people that have continued to be part of the book club has been exponential. People have, and we've got ages, folks in their 20s all the way up to our oldest person is 78. And she brings so much wisdom and grounding, but she also has questions, right? So it's just an incredible place to come. Our book for November, and we will be starting, so you can get it ahead of time, or get it now and start reading, is November 2nd is our start date, and we will be doing Sacred Rest.
Yeah, and we're ready for Sacred Rest. We've been talking about that in the 50/50 Girl Club all month long. So it's going to be really fun to hear that and hear more about Sacred Rest. Thanks. We got a lot going on, girlfriends. I mean, it's great. And we're learning more about all of those inner critics and how to take care of them and how to be confident in our connections with our family and with our friends, confident coming on to 50/50 Girls and being safe there and talking with people there, confident with our year going forward, confident with the holidays. I mean, got a lot. It's great to work together. So until next week, when we will meet, I'm a Jane. Y'all have a great week. Yeah. Take care. We'll talk to you soon. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Hey, thanks for joining us today in A Creator-Based Life. I hope you felt that compassion, mindfulness, and hope you came seeking today. You can find more of it at cmhcoaching.com or on Linktree/CMHcoaching. Of course, any social media outlet, we're there too. Because you felt the benefit and light in this message, please invite those you care deeply about to join us. Help us to create a ripple effect across the globe of compassion, mindfulness, and hope. Then we can create a creator-based life together. Have a great week, y'all. We'll talk to you soon.